If you want to see reports like this one, please subscribe. You'll be notified every time I upload. Hello and welcome to another update. In this one, I'm talking about a little bit of a different update, as in this one, this is based on rumors. There's been no confirmation so far, but according to both pro-Ukrainian and pro-Russian sources, there are rumors that the Russians are preparing a counteroffensive around Kharkiv area. And I believe the way that this would happen would be a Russian troop buildup around Kupiansk and Sinkove, where they will try and create a beachhead across the Oskil River by pushing into Kupiansk, Dovorikna, as well as Sinkove at the same time, and establish a beachhead between all three villages, after which they will do something similar to what the Ukrainians did, which is a heavy central push from Kupiansk towards Shevchenkove and a simultaneous push through the middle towards the highway between Vishneve, Volhyv and Vesele, after which they would try and capture Volhyv from two directions, allowing them to push towards Balaklia and the south towards Vesele. Now, the issue here is, compared to the Ukrainian counteroffensive, is that the Russians had to withdraw, otherwise they would be encircled. However, the Ukrainians at Izium would never be encircled, so they would have to have a tough battle from the north, coming from both Bakhtin and Vesele towards Izium, capturing the northern area between the two sides of the river, after which they would have to cross the river and push onwards, similarly to what they did earlier when they first captured it, and they would have to then push down the highways to Velika Kumshuvenka, similarly to what they did earlier on and what they had control of. They would also need to capture Balaklia and Husarivka as major military bases in the area. And looking further north, we would have to push towards Korobukne, as similarly to what they had before. However, differently from what they had before, they would most likely have to create a defensive line where they have to defend it on one front instead of one wide front, where they control most of the borderline between Ukraine and Russia in front of Kharkiv, as I don't believe they want to attack Kharkiv yet, as it would demand a large concentration of forces that they do not have involved in the special military operation that they call it, which is the invasion of Ukraine. But most likely what they will need is Izium itself and somewhere they can defend Izium, as this is the best defensive line for defending Izium compared to what they had earlier. And the importance of Izium is that the Ukrainian supply lines go through Bervinkov, and they would need to essentially control that to cut off the supplies going into the Donetsk region, which they are planning to capture. Unless they actually want Kharkiv, Izium is not important for this area. However, if it is, then Izium is still more important for the Donetsk region itself, meaning that it is essential for the Russians to capture Izium and Bervinkov to capture the Donetsk region. Otherwise, they would have to fight where the Ukrainians are well supplied throughout the whole phase of fighting, and it will be many months before they achieve any success. So essentially what they need to do is plan their own counter-offensive according to what we have seen the Ukrainians do, as the Ukrainians had a lot of success. Now, a comment about the Ukrainian counter-offensive is that allegedly the Russians set up defensive positions, but they had rotated out 1st Tank Guards Army and replaced them with LDPR soldiers, meaning that generally the soldiers were of lower quality and less equipped than the Russian counterpart. The Russian 1st Tank Guards Army has T-80s and modern equipment compared to the LDPR having T-64s and worse equipment. So generally speaking, the quality and the supply of the soldiers who were defending was both lower quantity, lower quality, and less supplied than the 1st Tanks Guard Army. So if they are planning a counterattack, then essentially what it means is that they are way more prepared now than they were back then, and it was a huge mistake for the Russians to replace and circle out the most trained units they have with much lower quality that isn't even Russian soldiers. They needed to rotate it out with Russian properly trained, properly equipped soldiers. Otherwise we saw the collapse as it was we saw the collapse as it had happened. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching and have a great day.